Have you ever played hide and seek? It's a childhood game where you try to disappear hoping no one finds you. Now, imagine world leaders playing this game, but instead of hiding behind curtains, they're hiding their money. We're talking millions, billions, sometimes even trillions of dollars. This isn't a fun game. This is the ugly reality of financial secrecy. And it's happening on a global scale. Your taxes, the money you earn, the money you spend, it all exists in a system that can be rigged. They know the rules of the game and they know how to bend them. But here's the good news. We can learn their tricks. We can understand how they hide their money and why it matters. Because when we shine a light on these shady dealings, we can start to hold these leaders accountable. We can demand a fairer, more transparent system for everyone. Ready to play detective? Let's unravel this web of financial secrecy together. Remember those old spy movies? The ones with secret agents stashing briefcases full of cash in Swiss bank accounts? Turns out those movies weren't too far off. Switzerland has long been a haven for hidden wealth, attracting everyone from dictators to celebrities. Think of it like a high-security vault. You deposit your money, no questions asked. The problem is this secrecy hides ill-gotten gains. The good news, Swiss banking isn't as impenetrable now. Ever noticed a business with its lights off and a name like International Business Holdings, LLC? That could be a shell company. Shell companies are like empty shells. They exist on paper but have no real operations. Their purpose to hide the real owners of money. Think of it like a Russian nesting doll. You open one only to find another inside. It's all designed to create layers of obfuscation. World leaders and corrupt officials use shell companies to hide assets. Trust funds. They're not just for spoiled rich kids anymore. World leaders use them too, but not to inherit their parents' fortunes. They use them to hide their own shady dealings. A trust is like a legal agreement where someone, the trustee, manages assets for the benefit of someone else, the beneficiary. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's the catch. Trusts can be incredibly complex and opaque, making it difficult to figure out who really owns what. Imagine a world leader setting up a trust in a country with strict secrecy laws. They appoint a trusted associate as the trustee and list their children or grandchildren as beneficiaries. Voila! Their assets are now hidden behind a veil of legal jargon and international borders. Trusts, while not illegal in themselves, can be easily exploited to hide ill-gotten gains, avoid taxes, and shield assets from legal scrutiny. The lack of transparency makes it incredibly difficult to track down the true owners of these assets, allowing corruption and financial misconduct to flourish. Section 5. The Panama Papers, secrets spill out. Imagine a giant dam holding back a torrent of secrets. That's what the Panama Papers were. This massive leak of financial documents in 2016 exposed a shadowy world of offshore tax havens, shell companies, and hidden wealth. It all started with a whistleblower, someone who decided to expose the truth. This anonymous source leaked millions of documents from a Panamanian law firm called Mossack Fonseca. This firm specialized in setting up offshore companies and trusts for the world's elite. The leak sent shockwaves around the globe. Politicians, celebrities, athletes, and even entire governments were implicated. The documents revealed a vast network of financial secrecy, showing how the wealthy and powerful were using offshore accounts and shell companies to hide their assets and avoid taxes. The Panama Papers weren't just a juicy scandal. They were a wake-up call. They showed us the scale of global financial secrecy and the lengths that people in power would go to protect their wealth. Section 6. The 1MDB scandal from Malaysia to Hollywood. Remember that Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Wolf of Wall Street? Turns out, real life can be even wilder than Hollywood fiction. The 1MDB scandal is a prime example. 1MDB stands for One Malaysia Development Berhad, a Malaysian government-run investment fund. Sounds boring, right? Well, things got pretty crazy. Billions of dollars were allegedly siphoned out of the fund, laundered through a complex web of shell companies and bank accounts, and spent on luxury goods, real estate, and even Hollywood movie productions. The scandal implicated high-level officials, including Malaysia's former Prime Minister Najib Razak. The US Department of Justice called it kleptocracy at its worst. The 1MDB scandal is a stark reminder that financial secrecy isn't just a victimless crime. When billions of dollars are stolen from a country's coffers, it's the ordinary citizens who suffer. They're the ones who lose out on essential services, infrastructure projects, and economic opportunities. Section 7. Why should we care? Hint, it's your money too. So, we've talked about Swiss bank accounts, shell companies, and shady trusts, but why should we, the regular folks, care about all this financial secrecy? Here's the thing, it affects all of us. First, it's about fairness. When the wealthy and powerful can hide their money and avoid taxes, it creates an uneven playing field. It means the rest of us are stuck footing the bill for essential services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Not cool, right? Second, financial secrecy fuels corruption. When leaders can stash away ill-gotten gains without consequence, it erodes trust in governments and institutions. It allows corruption to flourish, undermining democracy and the rule of law. Finally, it's about global security. Hidden wealth can be used to finance terrorism, organized crime, and other illegal activities. By tackling financial secrecy, we can help make the world a safer place. Section 8. The fight for transparency, shining a light on shady dealings. Okay, so the situation sounds pretty dire, but don't despair. There are people fighting back against financial secrecy, pushing for greater transparency and accountability. Journalists, activists, and organizations like the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, or ICIJ, are working tirelessly to expose corruption, track down hidden wealth, and hold those in power accountable. Governments are slowly starting to take action too. International agreements like the Automatic Exchange of Information, or AEOI, are making it harder to hide money offshore. Some countries are even creating public registries that list the true owners of companies and trusts, making it tougher to hide behind layers of secrecy. The fight for financial transparency is far from over, but every investigation, every leak, every new law passed is a step in the right direction. It's about leveling the playing field, ensuring fairness, and making the world a more just place. Section 9. What can you do? Besides Googling how to become a whistleblower, you might be thinking, okay, John, this all sounds terrible. But what can I, a regular person, actually do about it? Well, you'd be surprised. You don't need to be a hacker or a spy to make a difference. First, educate yourself. The more you know about financial secrecy, the more you can spot the warning signs and understand the consequences. Read articles, watch documentaries, and follow organizations working on this issue. Second, support organizations fighting for transparency. Donate your time, money, or skills to groups like the ICIJ, Transparency International, or the Tax Justice Network. Third, use your voice. Talk to your friends and family about these issues, write to your elected officials, and demand greater transparency and accountability. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and a whole lot of people demanding better. But by staying informed, getting involved, and speaking out, we can help create a fairer, more transparent world. Section 10. The future of financial transparency. Hope or hype. So, what does the future hold for the fight against financial secrecy? Is it a losing battle against an ever-evolving system of hidden wealth? Or is there hope for a more transparent and accountable world? The good news is we're seeing progress. The Panama Papers, the Paradise Papers, and other leaks have shown that the veil of secrecy is slowly lifting. People are waking up to the scale of the problem and demanding change. Technology is also playing a role. Blockchain technology, while often associated with cryptocurrencies, has the potential to increase transparency in financial transactions. Artificial intelligence and data analytics can be used to track down suspicious money flows and identify those trying to game the system. However, the fight is far from over. Those who benefit from financial secrecy are powerful and resourceful. They will continue to find new and creative ways to hide their wealth and exploit loopholes in the system. Section 11. Conclusion. Stay informed, stay vigilant. We've journeyed through the murky world of hidden wealth, from Swiss bank accounts to shell companies and shady trusts. We've seen how world leaders and the ultra-wealthy exploit these systems to protect their fortunes, often at the expense of ordinary citizens. But here's the thing, we're not powerless. By understanding the tricks of the trade, we can start to dismantle these systems of secrecy and demand greater transparency and accountability. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed about these issues. Read articles, watch documentaries, and follow organizations working to expose financial crime. Don't underestimate the power of your voice. Talk to your friends and family about these issues. Write to your elected officials and demand action. Support organizations fighting for transparency. The fight for financial fairness is an ongoing one. But by staying vigilant, informed, and engaged, we can help create a more just and equitable world for everyone.